Woo! We are back with the book club. So excited. Okay, making it super big. Becoming your own health detective. This is book club with Leslie and Chanel, but you have probably figured out already this is not Chanel, but she's equally fabulous. This is my dear friend and mentor, Danette Goodyear, whom I love, 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 love. And so she is joining us today as a special guest. How are you, Danette?
I am great and super honored that you asked me to be. Thank you.
I'm so excited. So excited. So my friends, if you recall, we are just kind of busting into your lunch hour for just a couple of minutes. Just a couple of minutes. Go grab your lunch, heat it up, come on back, chill, and relax. And what we've been doing is we've been going through Liz James's Become Your Own Health Detective book. It is fabulous. I have learned so much. And we're taking our time. We're taking our time through this book. We're not rushing through it. So we've literally been doing a chapter a month. That's it. So today, if you, let me just kind of backtrack because we took a break for the summer. So the first chapter, she was talking about what we can learn from our fingernails, which is awesome. So you can go back to my Facebook page or Chanel Anderson's Facebook page, and you can find the replay of that. The second chapter then that we did was looking at our skin, the skinny on our skin. So even looking under our eyes, looking, just things that are coming out along the jawline, all of that, and what that can actually tell you about what's happening on the inside. So that's the whole thing. It's like, look at this, and when you pair it with a whole bunch of other things, these are clues that can begin to sort of tell you other things that might be going on with your body. So it's quite fascinating. So this chapter, let's just get real. We're going to talk about spit. So there it is. It's not sexy. It's nothing yummy about it. We're going to talk about spit. So this chapter is the Candida spit test. So how we're going to flow very quickly, and then we'll get you back to your work day, is we're going to talk about what is Candida. I know most of us have heard about it, but it's actually not the worst thing in the world, and it kind of gets a bad rap. So Liz kind of educates us on that. So we'll kind of go through a bit of that and how do we keep our Candida at bay, but then what can it tell us about what's happening in our body, and how can you test that for yourself? And then my awesome friend Danette is going to kind of take over and share with us her knowledge on Candida, and then tell us, which is what we want to walk away with, how do we get this under control with some fabulous stuff. So, all right, let me jump in real quick. So it's a short chapter. Love it. So a quick read. So hopefully you caught up. And if you have not gotten the book yet, it is on Amazon or it is on Liz's website, goodmedicine.com. And again, you can get all that information on my Facebook page as well. And Danette's, it's on there too. All right. So Candida traditionally gets a bad rap as the fungus among us, but it actually has a valuable job in digestion and nutrition absorption. And a few common triggers for Candida that demonstrate it sort of running amok in your body is if you've got a high carb, high sugar diet. There's that. So a little conviction moment there for maybe a lot of us. Excessive alcohol consumption, chronic stress, another little pause. Certain medications. So she lists through certain medications that can actually produce more Candida in your body. Some things such as birth control pills, so synthetic hormone replacements, right? So just being mindful of some of these things that can do that. Heavy metals such as tube fillings or even some tattoo inks. Okay, so all these things can just increase this particular, or rather, let me say this. Create the environment where this is going to kind of go rampant in our body. So how do we, I'm going to jump ahead to this spit test and then kind of come back to as we sort of lead into Danette. So this was fascinating to me because I got to this chapter and I was like, okay, Liz wants me to spit in a glass. So what you do to kind of figure all of this out, you get yourself a clear glass. You need it to be clear because you need to see the things that are happening, right? You don't want to go get like your water bottle and spit in that because that's like not helpful. So you want to get a clear glass, fill it up so you can see what's happening. I won't actually do this live because that's just gross. So you want to do this first thing in the morning. All right. So I actually did it about 2 days ago. I kind of woke up and I felt like just liquid in my mouth. And I was like, oh, I need to swallow. And then I thought, no. Instead of swallowing, let me go spit in a clear glass at 5 o'clock in the morning. So that's what I did. So I got up, had my glass sort of ready to go, took all that was festering in my mouth, and I spit in here. And I think I maybe spit like twice. And what you're looking to kind of see is it's going to kind of pool at the top, if you will. And it's going to start to fall to the bottom. So you want to go back and watch it, come back and check it like every 15 minutes. And what you're looking for is if you have, where to go? Okay. So if you've got streams of saliva that are sort of resembling little jellyfish-like kind of tentacles, that would be sort of positive for Candida in your body. If you get cloudy specks that are suspended in the water, that's positive for it. Or cloudy saliva that sinks to the bottom of the glass, right? So what at least happened for me, and then I want to have Danette share, is I spit into it and I'm watching this, and yes, I totally had like these jellyfish little tentacle things within seconds, right? That was sort of falling, but it fell. And so I came back 15 minutes later, and that was actually gone. There was nothing suspended, and then it sunk to the bottom, and I could clearly look in and see, and I took pictures. Okay, hold on, everybody. Hold on, my peoples. Hold on, my friends, because I want you to see my spit, let's keep it real. Okay, I'm putting that up. Can we see that? Yeah, okay, that's the jellyfish tentacles. So this is my spit, people, at 5 o'clock in the morning. So it's coming down. I came back 15 minutes later, and it was still kind of dangling. You can see it kind of dangling. Sorry, there's a speck on my thing. All right, so then I came back, though, 15 minutes later, and it pretty much had settled at the bottom. And then finally, at the very end, there was nothing else dangling, but you can kind of see it's like cloudy at the bottom. So I never got back to like this completely clear glass, just gone. Okay. So she tells us, like, what can we learn from that? What can we learn? So this means there's this sort of the presence of this. So if none of these features appear in the glass, then odds are in your favor that your Candida population is under control. But if some of that is still sort of hanging out, then you may need to kind of take a look at your gut, because your body is not getting rid of everything that it should. So with that, let me hush and turn it over to Precious Danette, who's going to educate us on what does that mean to have this in our body. But first, you have to tell us about your spit test.
Yes, my spit test. Mine was at 6 a.m., not 5 a.m. And mine had 2 little jellyfish, and then an hour later there was nothing there. So a little bit like, all right, I need to up some things. Yeah. So when you see that, you're like, well, what do we do? That's a good question to ask. What do we do to help the gut? When we think about Candida, there are some synonyms here, or different things that we might think that they're different, but they're all based on the same thing, right? So when we think hear that with babies or young kids, that's Candida, that's yeast, right? Not brewers, it's a yeast. It's a type of sugar, high carb. They love that. And so when you have on in Candida, it will make, they want to be fed. So they will make those things. So as Liz so brilliantly has in here, if you are craving, I gotta have some sugar, and some carbs, then I want to have sugar. It is your body that demand to be fed. So our goal is to starve them off, and until we get it under control, right? Again, it's normal and healthy to have a little bit in the gut, because they do that we need as well, but not too much, because you get the holes, what is in the lining of your gut, and that is referred to as leak. So we think of leaky gut as this big thing. Most people have it at some level. God made our bodies that what should stay in the gut, when we're in an embryo, it's called the gut tube, made to keep all of that inside. So when we get leaky gut, when we get a lot of Candida through the lining, and now we have openings, so the waste that is in is now leaking out into our body and into the bloodstream. That's to go. So it's really important for us to get a handle on our. So some of the things, a couple of things that Liz mentioned here, because there are a lot of things on the key things, is our probiotic, and we love Life 9 by Young Living. Fantastic. It's called Life 9 because there are 9 great, good bacteria. That's what probiotic means. Good bacteria, and what they three or four super strains in there. What happens is, like in your gut and different camps all around, and Candida environment. So the more camps we have with their own little bonfire, that Candida cannot infiltrate the camp. So we want that great in there. Of course, unless you have a huge overgrowth, but if it's none, that's where all of our good fermented foods are as well. If you have an issue, we really don't even do that at that point. So when you're looking at your engine on your computer and your phone and type in anti-Candida, that will get you great information. There's ads of it out there, but it's basic, low to no carbs and sugars, right? Can starve the yeast. Lots of good water, of course. And then the other things, right? The heavy metals, if you have that going on in your teeth, actually helps breed that. So make sure you are cleaning your home, having chemical candles and chemical plugins and things like that. Those are all things that not just diet, right? So it's
good to know.
It's all encompassing, of course. The other thing Liz talks about are enzymes, and let's talk a few minutes about those, because we have 5 different, but 4 main enzymes that are all, so A, take what you have, right? But depending on what you have going on, the essential enzymes for I wrote down fat, proteins, carbs, and what am I missing there? And fiber. So that's why you take all those enzymes into one capsule, actually. So they are when you are eating, so it's helping break down food, which is the other one that Leslie has there. I'm getting Liz and Leslie in my head.
I know.
That is a fantastic. It is our only one that has HCl, hydrochloric acid. Acidic body. If you are dealing with some not good disease processes, things like that, that you want to be things in your body that you don't want there. I love these, and how you take that is you take it in between meals, in your food, and this is good for it too. But when you're taking it in between meals, you're adding other things, not helping digest your food. Okay. Yep. So
good.
I usually have 4 or so, because that's kind of what fits on the cap. I take 4 of those, sometimes put them on the cap with a glass of water on my bathroom sink, water all day long, but also at night. So I know I'm getting up once. So when I get up in the middle of the night, because when you take when I take enzymes on an empty stomach, do some, but that one, especially with the HCl, I either need to have something on my stomach or if I'm taking more than 2 of them.
Okay.
So I like to do those in the middle of the night. How I've trained my body to do that so that it can be digesting other things for it to do.
Very good.
And that's including Candida. Now we also have the allerzyme. Think of, if you have food sensitivities and that, I love allerzyme for that. And then detoxzyme, and these are both very little capsules, which I love because they're like super small, so easy. Detoxzyme, I love when you are really trying to help the body. Listen, detox.
It's in the name.
It's in the name. So I keep a bottle of these on my desk, actually.
Okay.
And 6, however many come out during the day, just for extra enzyme support. Getting too many enzymes in your body. 2 more things this month, but do a great job in helping the body strict Candida. That is inner defense tablets, capsules, excuse me. They're very easy but full of our oil, right? Because we can ingest them. So I love that. So what's in here? Thieves oil, oregano, and thyme, and lemon. Beautiful, powerful combination. I always want to tell people, make sure you have something to take your inner defense.
Yes.
And right,
yes,
that once, right, that you're like, yeah, I need some more on my stomach. Some good protein. You want to have that on your stomach, but hugely fantastic for Candida.
Quick story about the inner defense. I like to tell people, because it is kind of a big capsule. So for my girls, I've said this before, they can't swallow that. And if I want that on them, it's a squishy capsule. So I cut off the top, and then I'll put like a little coconut oil on their back and carry on, because that oregano's hot, people. The oregano's hot. And then I'll run it down their spine. And it has the consistency, not stickiness of honey, but kind of that consistency. So I can just easily rub it down their spine or the bottom of their feet. And also my dog, we had to board her a couple of, I think maybe a month or so ago, and she naturally came back with kennel cough. That's awesome. So I shoved Inner Defense, a capsule of Inner Defense, in some bread to get her to swallow it very fast and not chew it. And in 2 days, she was fine. So I was like, yeah, love Inner Defense.
Yeah.
Dog. The dog's happy.
Yeah.
Happy dog.
Love it. So if you get that, when make sure that you have that ready to go. I don't like it all the time. And you want to use it when you need something strong like that. So, to do a month off or something like that, or when you've been around people that, might be getting sick or they're down because you haven't been sleeping or eating like
Are you getting ready to travel? I know we do it when we're traveling.
Sure. Yeah. I never, ever leave these at home. Those are always a great idea, though. The Melrose, you have Melrose right there too. Yep. Thieves and Melrose for Candida controlling. Love to do. You can do things topically too, right? Right. That are helpful for you too. Right. Exactly. All over the abdomen, the feet, and then digest vitality for sure, because that for your digestion. So because so much Candida live, we want to be able to help support the gut, and digest is a team player for that.
Wealth of information, you people. Oh, I do hope that you took notes. Watch it again and again and again, because I'm already like, oh, I didn't realize it. Oh, really? So good. So good. I feel like we've talked about this before. If you haven't heard it from me before, let me just say it again so it's so clear. Like 90% of what happens in our body and diseases begins in the gut. So like Like seriously. So if you're like, oh, this hurts on me or this hurts. Okay, well, let's start with your gut. So everything that we're talking about is gut health and getting your body to flush out stuff. That's what we're talking about. So so grateful that Jeanette was here. Let me give a preview for next month. So good. So chapter 4 of Liz's book, Every Breath You Take. So we're talking about bad breath, people. So, I mean, we're going from spit to bad breath. And I can't, oh, good. Rotten and decaying odors. This is so fun. Thanks, Liz, for this opportunity to just get super gross live. Love it. Okay, so watch the replay, share it with your friends, and thank you so much, Danette, for being here. And thank you.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you, everybody, for joining us. And we will see you next month to talk about your bad breath. Can't wait. Bye.